Relationships are wonderful until they're not. Have you ever thought, I can't keep doing this, or I can't keep doing this way? Something has to change, or I've tried everything to fix this relationship, but nothing is working. I fear I'm becoming someone I don't even like, or even I love this person, but this is starting to feel impossible. You've listened to all the advice, but you're beginning to realize if the other person doesn't want to change what's broken in the relationship, you can't change it on your own. So now what? If you've read my books before, you know I always write about my own struggles. So I personally understand this dance of relational dysfunction. Over the last few years, I've wrestled through hard questions like, is it unloving to set a boundary? And are Christians ever called to walk away from a relationship? As I've faced some of the most painful decisions of my life. But after spending thousands of hours in counseling intensives and theological study, I've learned that boundaries aren't just a good idea, they're a God idea. And even more importantly, there's a right way and a wrong way to set a healthy boundary. The mistake I made for years was trying to set boundaries on other people to get them to change. That doesn't work. What does work is setting boundaries for ourselves. And I'm not only going to show my reader how to do this, but I'm going to give them practical scripts so they know how to communicate their boundaries in the midst of everyday life and those really challenging relationships. And if there's some people who refuse to respect your boundaries to the point that it is no longer safe or sustainable to stay in a relationship with them, how do we take the appropriate but challenging step of saying goodbye without becoming bitter or unforgiving? Here's some distinctives from my new book, Good Boundaries and Goodbyes. It's written with my deep and personal understanding of challenging friendships that have been restored to much healthier places with boundaries, but also some relationships that I've wept over because a goodbye was necessary. So, readers will find a friend who understands both the hope and the heartbreak that often accompany their needs for boundaries. Good Boundaries and Goodbyes has a distinctly female approach, which my readers will instantly relate to and feel cared for and understood throughout the book. Readers will also find that I include trusted therapeutic wisdom directly from my Christian counselor, Jim Kress, as he weighs in throughout the pages of this book. Also, and this is probably one of the most important distinctives, the biblical wisdom throughout this book will give my readers more scriptural confidence that it honors God when we love people well while not losing the best of who we are by setting and keeping healthy boundaries. Lastly, I wrote this message with my readers. That's right. My readers participated in the extensive focus groups that I conducted while researching and writing Good Boundaries and Goodbyes. So this gave me more confidence to know this book answers the real questions and challenges my reader has around setting boundaries and saying goodbyes. So to sum it up, I'll equip my reader to understand the 5 factors to remember when implementing good boundaries. I'll help my readers determine the appropriate amount of personal and emotional access someone has to them based on how responsible that person will be with that access. I'll also help them to stop being misled and emotionally paralyzed by wrongly interpreted or weaponized scriptures that perpetuate unhealthy dynamics in difficult relationships. And I'll help my readers overcome the frustrating cycle of ineffective boundary setting with realistic scripts and practical strategies to help them communicate, keep, and implement healthier patterns. And lastly, I'm going to really help my readers be equipped to say goodbye without guilt when a relationship is shifted from difficult to destructive and is no longer sustainable. As I said before, I understand how challenging these topics are, but what I've learned over the last several years has absolutely transformed the way I define and pursue healthy relationships. Now I'm more committed than ever to loving people well without losing the best of who I am. And I want to help other women do the same thing. This isn't about pushing people away. This is about welcoming people in and knowing how to stay healthy in this beautiful gift that God has given us called relationships. Thank you for helping me take this message out into the world.